Hey, I'm Jade Keogh.
And hello from me too, I'm Grace Seeley.
We both play for the Millwall Lionesses and are sponsored by the No One Likes Us talking team.
Why not sponsor one of our teammates just like they do?
To find out how, just email
kwebster@millwallcommunity.org.uk.
I'll say that again.
kwebster@millwallcommunity.org.uk.
In your email, say who you want to sponsor and we'll get back to you with the sponsorship details and what to do next.
This is all you have to do and it will help us to get back to where we belong. Thank you guys.
Now, enjoy our Millwall fan show from No One Likes Us talking team.
Come on, Mir.
Hi, Bethany Warren here, and you've joined us for the weekly Our Millwall fan show with the Millwall No One Likes Us talking team, which is broadcast every Friday evening. Enjoy!
Welcome to the 2022-23 series of Millwall No One Likes Us Talkings, our Millwall fan show. But this is the update show, which is a little bit different to the weekly ones, because we're in the closed season of the Championship, and we're just going to update you on a few things. I'm your host, Eamonn Barclay, and with me I have No One Likes Us talking team of Stan Godwin and Jeff Burnige.
Not everybody likes them, but they don't care.
As I said, during the World Cup, we're just doing a shorter update show. Anyway, let's say hi to Stan. Hi, Stan.
Okay there, Eamonn, all right? Yeah,
Good to hear from you. And hi to Jeff.
Hi, Stan, and hi, Eamonn.
That's
Hello,
good.
Jeffrey.
That's good. That's good. Good to hear from you both. Anyhow, as we haven't got no real issue to talk about, let's listen to Debbie Julians talking about our sponsors, GM Motors.
Our Millwall fan show is sponsored by family business G&M Motors of Gravesend and Meopham in Kent. They are Millwall fans too. They've been Honda dealers for over 50 years. At G&M Motors Gravesend you can purchase a new Honda. At both Gravesend and Meopham they have a combined range of over 150 quality used cars and ex-demonstrators to suit all budgets and lifestyles. They also offer a comprehensive range of repair and maintenance services to ensure your vehicle stays reliable, safe and retains a higher value with trust. G&M Motors, Gravesend and Meopham are dear friends of the Julians family. From Lenny to Debbie and also our Millwall fan show.
Well, that's nice. But I'm your host, Eamonn Barclay, and with me I have No One Likes Us talking team of Stan Godwin and Jeff Burnige. We're most grateful to our sponsor, G&M Motors, who are celebrating 50 years of trading. Well, we travelled to Deepdale on Saturday to face Preston. The Lily Whites have had a reasonable start to the season, which saw them sitting 6th in the league, 3 points above us before Saturday. In the last 5, they had won 4 and lost 1 to Blackpool at Bloomfield Road. Preston North End manager Ryan Lowe said after they defeated Reading on the previous Saturday, his side targeted Reading defensively at crosses to cause the Royals problems. That is what sides have done to us of late, as well as blocking out both Cooper and Cresswell in attack. Their home form was impressive. Couldn't they keep another clean sheet, or couldn't we even? But we did score goals for a recovery of form for the Lions. Well, what did you reckon of Saturday's performance, Jeff?
Well, I was waiting for it. We had a sticky, short period, hadn't we? We had a very good run, then we hit that run of 3 games without a goal.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of anxiety, and a few of the fans started to wobble a little bit. But I was expecting us to hit form very soon, and we chose that day when not many people were backing us because Preston were on a very good run, as are Birmingham, who we only drew 0-0 with, and we came home disappointed with only drawing 0-0 with them. They didn't get a shot on goal, Birmingham, and I think Preston probably had one or two. So we're doing a lot right, and it just happened on Saturday that the goals came, and of course goals change games, and we scored at the right times, and it looks like a very good result, doesn't it? Scoring 4 away at Preston, that was great. So, and what will it be remembered for? It'll be remembered for the Bermondsey Bergkamp's hat-trick.
Yeah.
But all in all, what a good time to do it. Going into the long break, 3 or 4 weeks break, we should remain top. We should remain in the playoffs in 6th spot for all those weeks, which is great.
Yeah, we can get accustomed to that while we have such a break and relax a little bit, but not relax totally, because we'll be back against Brøndby IF a little later before the comeback to football occurs. Stan, what was your take on Zian Fleming's performance?
Oh, excellent. I've seen the goals. And I've seen him play. He's a very good player technically, but then he's Dutch, so you would expect that. And, I've seen the picture I think Millwall put out once where they showed him as a young kid standing next to Dennis Bergkamp. Well, if you pick anything up from Dennis Bergkamp, you can be nothing else but better and better, right? But I sat and watched his hat-trick. He's excellent. His free kicks. The person who used to take free kicks before was normally just Jed Wallace, wasn't it? And in most cases with him, he was trying to put them over the wall.
Yeah.
Right. Now and again, he might vary it, but in 9 cases out of 10, he should try and put it over the wall. With Fleming, he puts them round the wall, and he does it, and it's along in most cases, the ones he scored have been along the ground, and they're, traditionally the most difficult ones to save.
Yeah.
But I thought he was excellent. He's getting better as time goes on. He's getting more accustomed to, English football and the rough and tumble of the Championship. And I see his 3 goals, and I thought they were excellent. And when we bought, I don't know how long we'd been chasing him. I remember reading that Rowett had been after him for some time, but he's an excellent signing for us.
Great acquisition. I believe it's 3 years, what I've heard. The other bit in the game that I felt was a really brilliant was we scored 2 early goals, both by Fleming. And then all of a sudden, towards after the, dare I say, Preston come back with 2, I thought we were going to be overrun. But we held out to half-time. They went in at half-time. We come back out, and we were still being overrun for probably about 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, we had started with a back 3, and then Gary Rowett dropped it into a back 5. It shut up shop. We were hardly getting any Preston attacks, and lo and behold, we scored another 2 goals. They just couldn't cope with the change that Rowett put in place. So I reckon that was a cracking bit of work from Gary Rowett and the team in adapting to what they needed to do.
Well, Eamonn, we have got a really strong squad now. I think if I want to compare that to anything over the last 5 or 6 years, I think one of the differences is we've got a bench that is full of players that can change the game in a positive way.
Make a difference, yeah.
Make a difference. But, the highlight for me was Danny McNamara's run for the 3rd goal. He had his critics earlier in the season, much as Zian Fleming did. But we are notoriously impatient at times, aren't we, us Millwall fans?
Yeah.
But I think McNamara's been doing incredibly well, and he deserved that assist because... and then, of course, Fleming controlled it on his right, took it, sent the guy the wrong way, and then smacked it in with his left foot. It was a brilliant bit of technique. An out-and-out finisher's goal there. I was very pleased with that one.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a player in a Millwall shirt for a few years now who's been able to tease defenders using his legs and scoring. It's been a rare commodity.
I mean, it's.
Go on.
Sorry.
Sorry,
no,
Stan.
I was just going to say that, you know, when you was talking about we were being overrun and then he changed it. I mean, it's funny because I've read people on social media turning around and saying things like, "Well, Gary Rowett's tactically inept." I mean, it amazes me when I read these statements. I mean, it really does. But then again, you see, that just goes to show, you know, we're playing that game, and you have to change it, and you know, and it's all about with tactics and whatever these days. You know, the key word is flexibility.
Absolutely.
Years ago, you could set the team up with a certain system, and you started the game off with that system, and you ended it with that system.
Yeah.
But that's simply not the case today, and you know. But no, it's excellent. I mean, and to pick up the point that Jeff says about the bench, I mean, I absolutely 100% agree with him. And I mean, I was reading in the Southwark News today a piece in there where, you know, which he's not complaining about, but I mean, he has selection nightmares in a way, because he is, as Jeff said, you've got all them people sitting on that bench that can all come on and change the game.
Yeah.
You're not carrying anyone as such, you know. But you know, I mean, all I'm hoping, to be perfectly honest, one thing I am hoping for, not that I've got anything against Old Dutch, but I think that, you know, what's his name, who's now Creswell, I mean, I've rated him ever since I've seen him, right? And I think if he's got a problem, his problem is he's not had enough games in the first team. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But I would hope that he would continue to carry on playing, because I don't think so. When I've seen him play, not just in this recent period, but even at the start of the season, he rarely puts a foot wrong.
No.
Rarely puts a foot wrong.
I don't really agree with that. I think when he got left out the side, he had made 2 or 3 mistakes that cost us goals and games. I think that was, I mean, he wasn't just left out for Hutch, he was left out the 18, wasn't he, for probably 3 or 4 games, at which point Leeds must have thought, right, we better have him back. But, you know, we're not going to get promotion with 11 players.
No.
You need 18 players.
Right, yeah.
The ingredient I mentioned of a strong bench is essential. There'll be a lot of games, a lot of pressure games towards the end of the season. Frankly, if it gets to February the 1st and the winter transfer window is closed and Charlie Cresswell's still a Millwall player, I will be very, very happy indeed. However, I do think Hutchinson is one of the best defenders in our division.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't deny that. I wouldn't deny that about him being one of the best defenders. I'm just saying, Jeff, that, you know, at the moment, Cresswell's going along quite nicely.
And if you look back, there were a couple of ricks at the back, which cost us goals. However, to Charlie's great credit, rather than sit back thinking, oh, I'll be back at Leeds in January, I'll be all right, he seems to have really stuck with it and knuckled down. Since he's been back in the side, I don't recall him making many errors at all. So credit to the lad. I think he's great.
Yeah,
and
great credit,
20,
lad.
Great
credit. Yeah, great credit. Credit where credit's due. Anyhow, good conversation, good game last week, no doubt about it. Anyhow, we'll take a break there and listen to Debbie Julians once again and Harvey Brown, but this time talking about the Lions Food Hub.
Let's hear from Harvey Brown.
Have you heard of the Lions Food Hub? That Millwall Lioness, Kelly Webster, is involved. Don't forget to help the Lions Food Hub if you can. Thank you.
As Harvey said, they need your support. If you can help, and you can make a one-off or a regular monetary donation at Banquet, that is BANKUET, you will find them online. Insert www.banquet.co.uk/Lions Food Hub into your browser. I'll say that again, www.banquet.co.uk/Lions Food Hub. And the Lions Food Hub is all one word. On match days, you can make food and toiletry donations at the Lions Food Hub. which is opposite the 1885 bar at the Cold Blow Lane end of the ground. Alternatively, you can also contact the team via the Lions Food Hub Twitter or Facebook sites.
Yeah, you certainly can. I'm your host, Eamonn Barclay. With me, I have a No One Likes Us talking team of Stan Godwin and Jeff Burnige. Energy and food poverty is rising, and as the Chancellor said today, well, it appears that's going to be the case for quite some while. But beyond our wildest dreams from 12 months ago, and will not decrease but increase. However, your kindness will be much appreciated and lessen the burden on the many families at risk. Anyway, let's hear from Ellis Barr.
Ellis here. Thank you for watching my videos. Now to hear what the Millwall Lionesses and Romans have been up to, and to hear who is next up for Gary Wright and the Lions. Come on, Millwall!
Yeah, come on, Millwall, that's for sure. Ellis, are you getting ready for Christmas? Keep us posted on what you're up to. We like to see the old videos, they really are good. But unfortunately, Ellis, there's nothing about the Millwall first team other than that report earlier, because they're not playing this weekend. First up, I caught up with Paul Loding, who's the Millwall Romans and Pride General Manager. And here is what he had to say.
First of all, congratulations to the Millwall first team. What a result last weekend, 4-2 against Preston. That's a cracking result to get the points from. So well done to all of them, and obviously Fleming for his hat trick. Commiserations to the Lionesses. I was actually at St Paul's briefly on Sunday and managed to catch about the last 15 minutes of the 90 minutes. It looked like a really good game, and they certainly didn't look like that Gillingham were 2 divisions above them. I thought they were playing really well. Both sides were creating loads. It was end-to-end stuff. Really, really good game. And commiserations. It's a horrible way to go out on penalties. The Romans team were in action on Saturday last weekend with a trip to Milton Keynes. GFSN, the National Cup competition. They always hold it in a certain location to play the quarter-finals. We obviously were drawn against the dreaded Village Manchester FC, who we played in the weighted final from 2020 and lost on penalties, and also played them in the semi-final this year at their home ground and went out spectacularly 6-0. I think we were quite anxious going into the game. Manchester, very, very strong side, even though we didn't perform against them in the semi-final where we did lose to 6-0. They are a very strong side, and we knew that. And I think we kind of prepared ourselves in a way that we're going to go there, we're going to battle for everything we've got and see how we come out. We did have a couple of players missing, our 2 wing-backs, Dan Williamson and Luke Charleston, both missing this week, which wasn't ideal. I think tactically we went into the game with the attitude of we needed to win our individual battles. And last time we played Manchester, we knew they were a good side, and I think we gave them too much respect. And this time we went out with the attitude of, we're winning. Each of us had to win our individual battles. We had to get tight on our men and follow with the movement. And it worked really well defensively. We did lose Rich Nichols, a striker, early on in the game with about 15 minutes due to an injury. He's quite a big, tough lad, and that was a big blow for us. But I think defensively we got it right. We put in a few hard challenges. We really stuck with strikers, and I think Manchester started getting a bit frustrated and started shooting out from 20, 25 yards, and they couldn't just penetrate that defence as we kept our defensive line. Unfortunately, the game was paused on the 30-minute mark due to a serious injury from the Manchester centre-back. He went in on a tackle with striker Jay Lamonius. He's a very, very quick centre-back and went in for the slide tackle. He's dislocated his knee, and we called the ambulance and waited for that to turn up, and we couldn't move him off the pitch. So the game was suspended for about an hour and 20 minutes or so while the ambulance arrived. But I have had an update on him. It was quite a serious dislocation. It does look like he's going to have surgery this week. So I think we all wish him well from us. The game resumed with the last sort of 15 minutes of the first half. Again, Manchester relentless in their attack, but they just could not seem to find the right ball for them. we were playing, obviously, with the three centre-backs just going left and right across the pitch, just protecting that ball at all costs, going with our runners, and they couldn't seem to find that killer run. And I think that's credit to all the guys there, how we defended, and big credit to Pete Dearsay, who's our goalkeeper, who did pull off a couple of saves. Second half really went the same all the way through, and with Jay pretty much playing on his own up front, so the ball would go forward to him. He did all his best to hold it up, and we tried our best to get as many players as we could forward, but I think our natural mindset was to hold out as much as possible, and we did. Held on for 90 minutes and went straight to penalties. Well, I'm delighted to say that the penalties were favourable for us on this occasion, and it went down to the last penalty. We had to score it, and we did, and that's put us through to the semi-final. So it was just a really good moment for us all. I think, there was it had been such a tough game, mentally and physically. And I think to win then against a team like that on penalties, which I think we did deserve. I think tactically on the day we were much better than them, and I think it's, I say, such a good result for us. And now on to the semi-final. And lucky enough for the semi-final, we have been drawn against our friends in Yorkshire. The Yorkshire Terriers will be coming down at the end of February. We are hosting them at home, and they are again a very good, strong side. But we'll be definitely up for that game and hopefully get into the final. Looking forward from both teams. The Romans team are at home this week against Soho Freedom. Soho Freedom has started the season off really well, and they're currently in 4th position. So they will be a tough opposition. It's a 1:15 kickoff at St Paul's Sports Ground. And the Pride team are playing at Regent's Park against the other Soho team. Again, quite a strong team. And they are kicking off around about 2 o'clock at Regent's Park.
Well, thanks very much for that, Paul. And lovely to hear the accolades you paid to both the first team and the Millwall Lionesses. Much and truly well deserved. In fact, the only thing I have to say, really on reflection, is the GFSN National Cup. I wonder what the team from Dublin might have to say about that. Anyhow, that's enough of that at the moment. Jeff Burnige was reporting on the Lionesses game against Gillingham in the Women's FA Cup at the weekend for our partners Maritime Radio. And here is what he had. Well, no, hold on a minute. But before that, Jeff would like to say something to Serena Hand.
Yes, I would, Eamonn. Serena's a very young goalkeeper. I believe she's 17. She might correct me if she's had a birthday. But her name is Serena Hand, not Serena Head, which is what I said on Maritime. On Sunday night, I was gutted for the girls and for everybody involved with the result, because how we managed to lose that game twice in the final seconds of the game and with the very final penalty, it beggars belief, because it was one hell of a game and one hell of a performance. So, with apologies to Serena, who was excellent in the game, let's listen to what I said on Maritime Radio after the game.
Yes, with head in hand.
Indeed.
Once again on Maritime Radio, loving that. It's Greenwich Breakfast, exactly 7:30. Millwall were in play at the weekend in a game that was not for the faint-hearted, as it went to extra time and then penalties. Jeff Burnige has a full report for us on Maritime Radio.
This is Jeff Burnige reporting on Millwall Lionesses, and it was heartbreak for them yesterday when they lost 5-4 on penalties after extra time to National League Gillingham. This was the FA Women's Cup, and it was the biggest game for Millwall Lionesses since 2019. They were clear underdogs, but they must be wondering how they came to lose this tie. They did fall behind on 20 minutes, but they reacted with great character, and on 31 minutes Jade Keogh equalised from a corner kick. And then shortly afterwards, from the very next corner, Otisha Charles headed narrowly wide. It was 1-1 at half-time, and in the second half, Millwall got slowly in the ascendancy, but they were unable to capitalise on the chances they made. Goalie Serena Head was also in the action with safe handling and good shot stopping. It was 1-1 at full-time. Lauren Williams and Lucy Gillett came on as subs. finally, after 101 minutes, the two subs combined brilliantly and Gerrard scored emphatically. The Lionesses were now minutes away from winning this tie against a club 2 divisions above them. But with seconds remaining and probably 2 minutes into stoppage time, there was a farcical equaliser for Gillingham through former Millwall Lioness academy player Cara Fujur. It went to penalties and Millwall were ahead on penalties when Serena Head saved the first Gillingham one, with the 10th penalty waiting for Millwall to score and go through. Cara Davis, the Gillingham keeper, pulled off a great save. And then, with the very next kick that the Lionesses took, she also saved that, and that meant that the Lionesses went out 5-4 on penalties. It's difficult to say anything about this tie. It was a great match, a momentous occasion. Millwall Lionesses were so unfortunate in the way that they lost this game, but Gillingham performed well as well, and it's they that go into the hat for the second round of the Women's FA Cup.
Thank you very much, Jeff. We always follow the Lionesses at Millwall with lots of interest, and a nail-biting match indeed for them at the weekend.
Well, thanks to Duncan Martin, who gets that out every week for us, amongst many other things that we do with Maritime Radio. Stan, having listened to that, what did you make of the Lionesses' performance?
Well, I mean, it sounds absolutely magnificent, but I mean, you know, you could ask them. I mean, they gave everything they had to give. They gave, and unfortunately, you know, if we got to the dreaded shootout on penalties, and we all know about penalty shootouts, and then it just turned. But you know, you can't. I mean, all right, they're down. I mean, I can understand they're possibly a bit flat at the moment. They feel, you know, well Tom and Dick about it. But to be fair, you know, it might well be in some respects a bit of a blessing in disguise. As strange as that may sound, what I mean by that is that, you know, they've learned from that, because they would have learnt from that, and it may not be you know, they may never have to repeat that again thanks to what they went through. They're, you know, redouble their efforts to make sure that they do it. So, but it was tough for them. I mean, I was watching the score coming and I couldn't believe what I was looking at, and you know, but they, as I said, everything they had to give, they gave, and they gave even more than that. And you can ask no more. You can ask no more. And when the fates are against you, the fates are against you, and it clearly was that day.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with Stan's comments there, and it was very nice to see Paul Loding at the game, by the way. Yeah. And it was lovely to get such a full report for once on this update show on the latest Romans game, which is obviously, again, they probably were underdogs in Manchester and they've come through. Yeah. So that was good. On the Lionesses, no, it isn't a blessing in disguise, unfortunately, because for this round, we actually drew one of the highest ranked teams in the country who were in on at this level. After this, you get to the WSL and the Championship, they come in. So it was a tough one. And there are weaker teams than the Lionesses in the next round. But we drew a tough one, and it was a classic, and it's convinced me, and I also think it will have convinced the players, that we're on an upward curve. And we used to get good attendances for Lionesses games, particularly when they were played at the Den 4 or 5 years ago. But I would encourage anyone to come along, because these games are great entertainment. The manager and the assistant manager, Jack and Alex, both Millwall fans. 1 or 2 of the team, very keen Millwall fans. It's a great thing to do, particularly in the next few weeks when the boys aren't playing. So hope to see some of you there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well made. Yeah, the Romans have got 1 trophy in their pocket already, that London FA Cup that they won for the Fives. Could it be 2 now, or even 3 this season? Well, I think all 3 are up for grabs. Anyhow, there's no games until December for the first team, But I ask you, will England top their group and progress to the second stage? Stan?
Well, I think they'll progress to the second stage. I mean, on paper they should top their group, but you know, I just hope with this World Cup, we just need to not get excited and not start, going mad even if we win and all the rest of it in the first game. But I fully expect England to qualify. If they, in all honesty, if we can't qualify out of that group, then frankly we shouldn't have been there. That's my view.
Yeah.
But no, I mean we will qualify.
Yeah. Jeff?
I wouldn't deny that.
Well, there's a couple of points. I disagreed with Stan earlier, and I do a little bit on this because I didn't do my own research here, but there's 8 groups, aren't there? 8 groups of 4 in the first round.
Yeah.
And our group is unique. All 4 teams are ranked in the top 20 clubs in the FIFA rankings. So the idea that it's a doddle for us against this group, I'm afraid I don't agree with that. It's going to be quite tough. On the other hand, it doesn't look as if anybody's going to get 9 points to me. So experience may tell, and we are going to have a lot of experience on our side. But I think one thing I do agree with Stan is I do think we'll end up winning the group. I do, but I think it's going to be quite heart-stopping at times. And but I'm looking forward to it enormously. And Stan also mentioned that we had a couple of bad results against Hungary, but then, of course, Hungary did have a Millwall player in their team, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Or at least, yeah. So there you are. That's Callum Stiles, for those that don't know.
Yeah.
We've all heard it. Anyway, we'll take a break there and hear what Fantastic Fanatics can do with a little bit of help from ourselves. And that's all of us that can actually do that.
Hi, I'm Richard Gordon, and I'd like to invite you to become a Fantastic Fanatic. Fantastic Fanatics is a great way to raise funds for your sports club. Sign up today, find your club, and securely register your everyday debit and credit cards. Every time you spend with our retail partners, they pay a percentage back to your club. It costs you nothing, and you can win cash prizes along the way. Visit fantasticfanatics.com and help your club be the best it can be.
I'm your host, Eamonn Barclay, and with me I have the No One Likes Us talking team of Stan, Godwin and Jeff Burnige. With Christmas a mere 37 days away, yes, 37, why not spend on gifts through the Fantastic Fanatics site and give a bonus to the Millwall Community Trust? It will help them deliver the very many activities that they do across all age groups. Our guest tonight is becoming harder to get hold of than ever. And that's because, in his words, he is delivering to so many amazing activities than ever. In fact, I was contacted this week to see if I might propose an initiative to him on someone else's behalf. Well, agent le provocateur to Mr. Millwall Community Trust. And let's say a big welcome to Sean Daly.
Good evening, all.
Hi,
Good evening,
Sean.
everyone.
Good to hear you.
Well, it is good to hear you. Sean, firstly, more accolades for the Millwall Community Trust this time at the Lewisham Mayor's Business Awards 2022 ceremony last week. And on Wednesday, the Millwall Community Trust was awarded the London Youth Bronze Quality Award, which is a badge of excellence awarded by the charity London Youth to celebrate high quality youth work. Can you tell us about these 2 awards and how they come about?
Yeah, well, a couple of months ago we invited all the Lewisham councillors to come to the Den to see some of the work that we're doing, and really just to give them an eye-opener about the work that's going on in the borough, which they may not be aware of since they're new councillors. And then just out of the blue we got a phone call to say that we had been nominated by somebody for a business award for the work that we do within the community and the visit attraction you are to Lewisham. So that's how that award came across. We guess it was probably some of the councillors, because I think they were quite shocked to know that what sort of work we've done. And then the Youth Award we received on Wednesday. It's been going on for a couple of months now. We've been putting the work together, and what they do is they go around to find out who delivers provision for youth in London, and then they come out and grade you of what sort of provision, what quality, what proceeds you've got in place for these young people and their exit routes. And it's taken a while, it's taken a couple of months, but we were given the award yesterday.
That's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It was a busy weekend for Millwall fans following the diversity that exists in the sides associated with the club. Well, the first team stepped up the gear with a 2-4 victory at Preston. The under-21s had dispatched Colchester with ease midweek. The Millwall Romans, having already won the Football for All Cup, progressed to, and I have to say this because Paul Loding gets it a bit mixed up, the UK and Ireland QSN Cup semi-finals, and the Millwall Lionesses played out of their socks against a side 2 leagues above them, namely Gillingham, and showed that they have the ability to match such a side, even though they lost out cruelly on penalties. Now, I know Jeff has got a question for you.
Sean, I can only say thank you from everybody that enjoys women's football. The progress over the last couple of years has been amazing, and there's a brilliant mix of young players coming out of our academy with some experienced players under manager Jack Wheeler and assistant manager Alex Russell, both of whom are Millwall fans. What are your thoughts on how things are progressing?
I think 3 years ago we made a decision that we would not become a regional talent centre for girls through the FA, because we felt that we weren't getting the right players in that wanted to represent Millwall. So we went right back to basics and we recruited from Lewisham and Southwark areas. And what we have now seen is the fruit of that, some young players coming through. Jack's recruited very well this year, some experienced players. And I can only see it getting stronger and stronger because, our academies, 14, 16s and 18 is flourishing, and which is helping the first team as well. So the future's looking really good. They've brought in some good players. They've got great facilities to train out of, and it's just working very well. And I just think there's going to be loads more opportunities for those players in the academy that they're going to see there's a pathway for them, and a pathway that's going to hopefully be an even better level next year. We're hopefully getting promotion on that. But I think the recruitment of the more experienced and the younger has blended very well and puts us in good stead going forward.
Stan?
Yeah, well, it's good to hear, and congratulations on everything that's going along, Sean, with the awards and one thing and another. But the Millwall Romans at last defeated Manchester at the third time of asking, are they good enough to win this cup, which covers the UK and Ireland?
I'm not the right person to ask about that, really. I think that's Paul, isn't it? I think I haven't told him he's got to win it. I just said I'd like to see them go one step forward. And I think as a team themselves, I think they would like to win that cup. They've been so close in the last couple of seasons. But I think it could be their time this year. So, but I think as a team they would love to win it. I think that's the one that they've won the league before, but that cup just seems to be out of their grasp all the time. But this could be the year for them.
Jeff,
Sean, turning to the boys, it was great to see that young Tino has shown his class enough with the Millwall Premier League Kicks programme that you run, and which you won, to earn a Millwall Academy trial, and he's not been the only one, I think. This is a player pathway programme, so that if you are taking part in the community activities and you shine, you can progress to the club's main youth academy. If you add this to the one that Peter Sweeney runs at Sevenoaks, and Tim Sells, who runs the one from the centre at Zampa Road, and the Second Chance Academy for the 16 to 24-year-olds, there appears to be some very effective routes to access men's and women's sides that we and others have. How do you see that working out at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things that I spoke to Scott Fitzgerald about is in my last role at another organisation, we were very successful with that sort of player pathway. I said, we're probably the biggest scouts for the club. We see X amount of children, 6,000 children a year over a constant time, not just once. Their scouts see them once. We see them over holiday camps, 25 hours a week, their after school clubs. So we're seeing these children constantly. And, we've got some good coaches and some good scouts within our organisation that can pick up a talented player. And they're going to come to the Millwall initiatives because we hope we run good initiatives. We just want to give them opportunities. That's all it's about. And the club have grasped that. They said, yeah, that's no issue. You find a player, just bring him down here, or we'll come and see him. But they see that as a big scouting net for them as well. But we're going to see so many children in our programs that we are going to pick up some little diamonds. And it's having that route to then put them straight into the academy. Now, they all might not fit in the academy because they might not be good enough, or they might need a little bit more time, but they can then drop back straight into our programs and we'll monitor them again until they're ready to step up again. So I'm just hoping in the next few years that we get a player that goes on to become a pro. Billy Mitchell and Danny McNamara came from a program that I run, another club, exactly the same sort of program. Found them on a community holiday camp, pushed them into a player pathway, and then got them into the academy. So it does work.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really pleased to hear that, Sean, because it is not an easy thing to do because the standard of player in our main academy is very high. But I do know that over the last 20 or 30 years, there have been some quite prominent players that have joined other clubs, having been at one or two of the community trusts events and programs. So hopefully those days have passed and we can now get those players into the system. But I'd like to move on to two of your initiatives. You referred to initiatives that you've got going. I know one of them's donate the coat, and you've also got the annual Santa's Dash. How are these two things going at the moment?
So Donate a Coat was launched last week. The idea is we've teamed up with Wrap Up London for people to give away the coats they're not using, and we will donate them to Wrap Up London. They will donate them to families, children, adults that could do with a winter coat. So they're going quite well. Donations are coming in at the Lions Centre, and they will continue up until around about Christmas Eve. And then we'll get them delivered over around Christmas Eve. So if anyone's got any coats they're willing to donate to us, just drop them into the Lions Centre. And then the Santa Dash, we're up to about 30 people at the moment signed up to the Santa Dash. It's just for a little bit of fun, it is. What we plan to do on that day is it starts on the 10th of December, which is just before the Wigan game, about 10:30. All the participants will get a blue Santa outfit. Which is the Santa outfit, the hat, the beard. They will then run round the pitch, start off at the pitch. They will then run to St Paul's, where they'll get some hot chocolate and some mince pies. They'll stay and watch the Girls Academy playing up there. And then they'll run back round the pitch to finish off with, and then to receive a medal at the end. Now, it's just a real little bit of fun, really, just to sort of like get fans together, and celebrate a little bit of Christmas, and then they'll get tickets for the game and they go and sit in the stands dressed as Father Christmas, but in a blue Santa outfit.
That's fantastic. I think we'll have to put a couple in for that. You fancy that one, Stan?
Well, I don't know. I mean, anything's possible, mate. Anything is possible.
Well, you can walk it, Stan. I'm happy for you to walk.
Yeah, it might well be. Yeah. Right. Okay. Anyway.
I'm not sure I can manage it. It's coming down the chimney these days. It's got a bit more difficult than it used to be.
Well, yeah. Well, I can't say. Well, chimneys. I mean,
where's chimneys?
Chimneys, aren't you?
Where are the chimneys? Yeah.
I can just about remember chimney sweeps, but and that wasn't watching Mary Poppins either. But anyway. Sean, a couple of members of your team should have some mention, Steve Rogers and the departing Andy Baffour. Can you tell us about these guys?
Yep. So Steve and Andrew were here before I joined, so it just shows you how long they've been here. Andrew has been at the organisation. He's part-time coach. Been here for about 7 or 8 years. Great with the young people and that. Wanted a change in his career, so he's gone into like mentoring at a children's care home. But he's a great advocate. Unbelievable with some of the kids we had here. And Steve Rogers must have been here for about 20 years. He's done everything at the organisation, from walking football to Premier League kicks, to toddler soccer, football camps, etc. So he was recognised by the Premier League last year as sort of like an ambassador for Millwall, for all the hard work he's put with these young people in. But two great coaches, great people within the organisation. Sorry to see Andrew go. Just think he just wanted to change his career, really. He wants to get into mentoring, he wants to stop coaching a little bit. But Steve Rogers will continue his work for, I presume, another 20 years.
Fascinating, absolutely fascinating, that one with Steve. He's a card that's been around for a very long time. You're right. But there's also some other exciting news that came out yesterday regarding a place that I know Jeff Burnige is very fond of, the Turnham Academy, Brockley. Can you tell us about what's going on there, Sean?
Yeah, so we do a lot of work in Turnham Primary, and we have done for the last 3 or 4 years. If people know, it's quite a lively area. Was covered by Channel 4 in 2016, where it sort of like talked about youth gang work that was going on in that area. And we've been working in that school for 3 or 4 years, all doing all different things, from sport to mentoring, etc. And the head teacher, Richard, spoke to me about a year ago and said, we would like to build an AstroTurf, just for the community, because they've got no playing space in there at all. And he said, we're going to contact Ian Wright, the Arsenal footballer, to see if he'd be interested, because he went to this school. And it sort of snowballed from there. They got hold of Ian. Ian's a regular person down there anyway, and Ian said, yeah, no problem. I'll fund it for it. I'll get EA Sports involved, Football Foundation. And within months, it was on the cards, ready to go. I got a call last week to say that Football Foundation were going to come down. Could we send someone over from Millwall? So the idea is that Turnham would use it during the school time for them. But they're a school, so they don't know much about how they would engage the community in it. So the head teacher said, look, would Millwall take it over, say, from 4 o'clock every night? And would they run it and run all different programmes in there for us, for the community? So we're going to bring all different things in there. We're going to bring girls football. We're going to do Premier League kicks. We're going to do some walking sports. We're going to do some free holiday camps. So we're going to literally run the actual site for the school going forward. But it's just come very quickly. 1 minute it just seemed a long conversation to talk, and then within 2 months, when you get someone like Ian involved, it just snowballs. But yeah, it's very exciting. And then Steve Kavanagh went down there to see Ian, and I think the spade goes in the ground on Monday, and they start the build. Should be ready to go in February.
That sounds absolutely fantastic, really does. And I know Jeff enjoys his kick and cook down there. But whereabouts is the pitch actually going to be? Do you know, Sean?
Yeah, so in the actual school, they've got like a grass area, which is like their play area. So they've got concrete, but they've got a grass area in the area. But with the winter happens, that becomes all boggy and it's just out of order. So they lose it from sort of like October onwards, because there's no lights there, and so it's literally going to be in that space there. They're going to take all that grass up and put in an Astro.
That's fantastic.
EA Sports are going to be involved on it, and with the new game they're bringing through, the new football game, you'll actually be able to play futsal at that site when the computer game comes up. So it's very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Did you want to say something, Jeff, about that?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that I was there for a kick and cook day. That's a programme that our Debbie Julian's got started. and all I can say is it was clear to me that Millwall's reputation with the staff there is so high. You've obviously been doing a really good job there, because they were very welcoming and full of praise. Also, for all his the controversial sides to his career, Ian Wright's a good guy, and he has a lot of affection for Millwall, whatever our fans might think. And it looks to me like something that's going to be really, really good. And how highly do they rate Sean and the MCT for them to just ask them to take over the running of it from 4 o'clock every day? It's a very, very good thing. I'm thrilled to bits with this, and hopefully it'll go well from February onwards, Sean. Well done.
No, thank you very much.
Every sentence tells a story. Stan, you've got an outstanding question to ask, I think. Something about England, was it?
Yeah. So I'm so obsessed with this. Yeah, Sean. How do you see England carrying on in the World Cup? Do you think they're potential winners?
I'd like to stay interested in the World Cup. I think England have got to get as far as they can in it for everyone to stay interested in it. I think the heat will be an issue out there eventually as they get further on in the groups. But I think they'll win their group and go from there. I'd love to see them to get to the final, but I just think there's a lot out there, the heat, the climate, all different things that may affect them on the way. But definitely out of their group, quarterfinals, semi-finals would be very nice. And if they go all the way, then that'd be brilliant. What was everyone else's answers?
Well, we won't ask Stan. I'll give you the conversation here. Well, Jeff reckons we will, and Stan's not going to put his cards in front of us yet until later. But I believe they will win the group too. So that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Anyway, thanks again, Sean. It's been great to hear from you. There's so much going on. So we look forward to having you join us again in a not too distant future. You'll be interested to know what Paul thinks about the Romans and the GFSN Cup from his comments in the show too. But for now, it's bye for now. All the best to you and your family. And, well, you take care. We'll see you back.
Take care,
Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah,
thank you.
care, mate.
See you later.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, Sean Daly, Mr. Millwall Community Trust. Well, we'll take a break there and listen to Bethany Warren talking about how you can sponsor or donate for the MCT.
The work of the Millwall Community Trust makes a big difference for people in Lewisham, Southwark and North Kent. Times are getting tougher, and to help them make a difference, you can help too, by making a donation. Give a one-off donation or a monthly amount. Your support is crucial in raising vital funds for their work, or by fundraising for them. If you are running, swimming, cycling, cooking, dancing, parachuting or anything else, why not do it for the Millwall Community Trust? Interested? Then either email inquiries@millwallcommunity.org.uk or phone 0207 740 0503. I'll say that again. Email inquiries@millwallcommunity.org.uk or phone 0207 740 0503. Thanks if you can.
I'm your host, Eamonn Barclay, and with me I have the No One Likes Us talking team of Stan Godwin and Jeff Burnige. If you can sponsor or donate in these tough times, it will help the Trust deliver its activities that support the whole community. And we've heard plenty about that this evening. We are all looking forward to the next game, but in the meantime, here are a few matters for the Millwall fans.
First off, why not watch the Three Lions at the Den in the 1885 Club Lounge when they take on Iran, the USA and Wales in England's World Cup Qatar 2022 group stage fixtures for just £5 per adult and £3 per under 18. You can back the boys in the company of fellow Millwall supporters. Your ticket price will include one drink, beer, wine or non-alcoholic, whilst a limited menu of hot food will be available to purchase. Tickets for these screenings will be needed to purchase in advance on the Millwall ticketing website under the tag events. Tickets will go off sale 2 hours prior to kick-off.
Next week there is no full show again due to the World Cup and the EFL Championship break. We will return next Friday with an update show when I will host Phil Coleman, and that's Phil Coleman, the former Lion, Debbie Julians, the daughter of Lenny Julians, a former Millwall player, and Ted Robinson, George Lampy's mate. There will be a review of Millwall results and a guest too. Don't miss it. Additionally, Millwall host Bromby IF in a friendly match during the World Cup break at the Den on Saturday, 26th of November. Kick-off, importantly, is at 1 p.m. and tickets are now on general sale. Tickets are priced at £10 for adults, Stan got his today, £7 for over 63s, £7 for 18 to 21 year olds and £5 if you're under 18. There are 3 easy ways to buy the tickets online at www.millwalltickets.com. Booking fees apply. Say that again, www.millwalltickets.com. By phone on 0207 231 9999 and select option 1 between the hours of 9:30 in the morning and 5 p.m. in the early evening. That's Monday to Thursday, and on Friday it shuts off at 4 p.m. Booking fees again apply. In person at the Millwall ticket office, and how bad's that?
You heard from our sponsored Lionesses, Jade Keogh and Grace Seeley, at the beginning of the show. So why not sponsor a Lionesses kit like us to help them get back to where they belong? If you're an organisation, you can get fantastic exposure opportunities for your business. On top of seeing your name on the club website, you'll be able to enjoy a range of benefits. There's a signed shirt, meet your sponsored player, invitations to a VIP sponsor day, free season ticket to all home games, presentation photo. Kit sponsorship is priced at £160 plus VAT. So why not get together with some family members or friends or your company and sponsor a Millwall player. There's no game for the Millwall Lionesses this Sunday. They were due to play in the Kent County Cup, but they've been given a bye in that. So there won't be a game for you to think about, but instead get in touch with the Lionesses by emailing Kelly Webster, and her email address is kwebster@millwallcommunity.org.uk. I'll say that again, kwebster@millwallcommunity.org.uk.
Don't forget you'll be able to listen to the No One Likes Us Talking team bring reports from our games both home and away for both the Lions and Lionesses, and also updates on Millwall Community Matters on Maritime Radio, broadcasting on 96.5 FM. Additionally, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter social media sites and all the popular podcast sites. That's it from me. Good night, Stan.
Good night.
Good night, Jeff.
Good night.
And good night to our listeners. Finally, let's not forget to keep it safe on the streets out there.